Hi, welcome from Spirit First Coaching TV. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to tell you about 5 immutable principles that you may choose to surrender to in order to release resistance, embrace acceptance, and enter into the flow of life. We can thank David Richo for teaching us that by surrendering to these immutable laws, we may access divine wisdom and limitless possibilities for ourselves and for our children. The first law is a law of impermanence, which holds that absolutely everything changes and ends. Your physical body disintegrates, your possessions deteriorate, and even the sun and mountains change and die. All relationships have a beginning and end via separation or death. Recognizing the temporary nature of your experience awakens you to the short-term blessings as well as the beauty and wholeness inherent in life. Law 2 is, things do not always go according to plan. We have all experienced that. Your ego likely planned to have this idealized parenting experience, but other plans were at work. Surrendering to the bluntness of reality helps you flow downstream. Because you're given free will, you can resist paddling furiously upstream, telling yourself that you can single-handedly change the course of the current. I know because I did it for years. Or you can choose the options available to you while flowing in the direction of the raging river. Law 3, life is not always fair. If you're anything like me, your ego will want to be the arbiter of fairness, but that isn't a burden worth carrying. Sometimes you do everything right and life still doesn't hand you a bouquet of roses. Sometimes the people you trust the most betray you. Your challenge is to grieve your losses without retaliating against them or, most importantly, yourself. Point 4, pain isn't always a punishment and pleasure isn't always a reward. While giving birth to yourself on the spiritual journey, pain is part of the universal fitness plan. Although pain is not a requirement for most of us to awaken spiritually, for many of us it does spur us on that path. The dualistic nature of life is contraction and expansion. Without the pain inherent in the contractions, you would not be able to give birth to yourself as a spiritual being first and foremost who is having a human experience. Lastly, people are not always loving and loyal all of the time. You've probably lived with a continuous weight of judgment from strangers, acquaintances, professionals, friends, and even family members. You've likely been disappointed by some individuals you counted on in your darkest hours. If you're honest with yourself, however, you'll admit that you also have disappointed others, time and time again. Your task is to feel and release the pain anchored to these experiences rather than lashing out at others or running away from your toxic burden. By unconditionally accepting all 5 of these unchangeable truths, you set yourself free. Release resistance, embrace acceptance, and enter the flow of life where your true power resides. And please share with me how these laws have helped you surrender in your life. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget the free coaching tools by clicking on the upper right-hand corner. Create a wonderful day. Namaste.